Welcome to the Brad and Taylor Show. Today we have Coti and Ty Brown.
You're listening to the Brad and Taylor Show, a podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to pursue their passions. We're sitting down with some of the best to learn how they got started and some lessons they learned along the way.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Good.
Good. How are you?
We're
Thanks for having
good.
us on.
Yeah, no problem. So what exactly do you guys do?
So we are a husband and wife team, and we run a local real estate team that's also, we have some agents that are national.
That's awesome. So when you guys were younger, is this what you guys planned out, or what was your guys' plan?
Well, I'll take that one. I guess when I was younger, I wanted to be a professional baseball player. So this is not what I wanted to do. This is not, but it's pretty sweet though. I'll take it. I'll take that flexibility.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
To play baseball, so that's nice.
That's true.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when you guys, how did you guys meet then? And how did you guys get to wanting to do real estate together?
Well, we met years ago. I came to Michigan actually for a job at the time, and I met Ty about 3 weeks later. And that's really how we met. And then the rest is history. It's been, what's it been? Almost
15 years. Yep.
It's been, a little over 15 years being here. But the real estate part was seriously a God wink. I mean, we had moved a couple different times for my job and his job. And when we moved back to Michigan to be close to family, we were at a season change in our life with our kids. And I had went and stayed home with our kids for about 4 years and decided I no longer wanted to do that. I wanted to do something outside the home, and real estate had always intrigued me, mainly because I grew up, and when I was young, my mom never owned a home. Like, we moved 27 times before I graduated high school.
Wow.
And so it was always, I feel like a little bit of kind of God's foreshadowing. And then I got into real estate, and I feel like it was kind of like happy wife, happy life. Is that how it went down? Is that how it happened? Where I was like, hey, this is too busy for me, and I'd really like this if you did this with me. That's how I remember it.
Yes, that's exactly how it went down. In a previous life, I did a lot of numbers, logistics, planning, scheduling. So I'm more of like a spreadsheet person, maybe analytical. So our worlds kind of collided when we kind of joined. It was like, okay, well, we're gonna move back to Michigan from Georgia, and we're gonna start this adventure. And I kind of dug in to understand some things, and I got my license, and here we are.
It works perfect, because all the stuff I love to do, he doesn't, and all the stuff he loves to do, I don't. So
Yeah.
It works perfect.
Good balance.
Exactly. So Coti, when did you get into real estate, and how long were you in it before Ty came along with you?
I got licensed in July of 2018.
Okay.
I really kind of hit the ground in about September when the girls went back to school. And then it was that December.
It was December of 18, and then 19 I started.
Just a few months later.
Okay.
We were really blessed that our business took off very, very quickly. We really poured into the community from day one. We wanted to make sure that our platform of our real estate company was a service. How can we serve the community, and volunteer hours and donations where we could. And so it took off really fast. And we knew immediately that I wasn't going to be able to do it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when tell us about your first transaction. Like, how did that go? Did it all go smoothly, or were you like, what did I do wrong?
Because I think it was Merle and Liz,
I think it was too. Yeah.
It's funny because we're actually our very first clients are some of our dearest friends now. And we're people accumulators. So we have a lot of folks that have become our friends over transactions, but it was a younger couple, and it was super interesting. He was actually a helicopter pilot overseas at the time. Huh. And I was trying to communicate with him in off hours, because he was in Afghanistan, I was here, and then he wanted to go see this property, and he sent his girlfriend at the time and a friend. And I remember feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't even have the actual buyer here. I've never met him. So it was a really unique one. On top of it, the transaction itself had all kinds of hiccups. The house had foundation issues. There was just there was a land contract involved. I mean, anything that could have been like, hey, Coti, we're going to throw you to the wolves and you're going to learn everything this time.
Right.
It did. But one, I think our relationship with them as clients at the time was that much better for it. And I know we were that much better for it because we learned a lot during that.
Yeah, I wasn't actually on. We were not physical or theoretical husband and wife team. So
Okay.
I was looking and like she would come home with these stories. What's happening with the
He
things. I was like,
he was just my therapist. That's what you were. He was a punching bag
therapist.
therapist. 'Cause I would come home and be like, and then he would have to listen to all of it. So I guess we were kind of like, why not just jump on board then, right?
Not much
Yeah.
to change.
It was only a couple months, so you're like, yeah, we're going for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So did you guys go right into it full time, or did you guys kind of gradually go into it? How did that go for that first couple months?
Yeah, she dived into it right full time, and then I had some transitions with some various jobs, so I just decided to go in. I think it was end of December I got licensed, and then by January of 19 we were pretty much a team.
That's awesome. Good for you guys. What's one of the worst showings you guys have shown up to?
There's been a number of them. It's hard to pick one. I'll tell you probably one of the worst ones we ever had though was actually for some friends of ours that we were helping out in anyway. So they were looking for a property. We found out after we were under contract that it was in a flood zone. So that was news to us. We also went to inspect it and we pulled up the septic tank and it was a disaster. And so anything that could go wrong with that house did. I think there's been a number of them. It depends on which showings. We've walked in houses before where people were there that weren't supposed to be there.
It seems like the trend.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of crazy stuff that happens. But there's lots of great stuff that happens. So it all weighs out.
That's right.
Do you guys typically go to the showings together?
Nope.
No.
Typically I just go. Ty
Okay.
handled all the file from start to finish. And then with our team, he handles all of like onboarding for new agents,
Okay.
operations, paperwork questions, all that good stuff. And then communication between lender and title.
That's awesome. So what tell us a little bit about your team.
Well, we have 11 team members right now, and Coti mentioned we got a couple out of state. One in Utah and one in Georgia right now, but we're looking obviously to expand that. But yeah, we have an awesome team. We have nine of those 13, including, well, actually 11 of those 13 are our local agents. So yeah, it's great. We all have something we give back to the community, or we serve with some capacity. We're actually continually giving back and doing it through real estate transactions. So
That's awesome. Yeah,
sweet.
I remember you guys saying that. I thought that was pretty cool. So that's awesome. So let's say you guys had to start all over today and you only had $1,000. How would you spend that first $1,000?
I think that we'd probably do it exactly the same as when we started. We didn't have $1,000 when we started, so that's. But if we did, business boils down to when you grow. Are you going to grow with time? Or are you going to grow with money? You really have to figure out which thing do you have to throw at it. And honestly, we've encountered where at every level of growth, we continue to run into that.
Yeah.
Even right now, as we're growing, honestly, Ty's plate is full and we think, okay, are we going to continue to use his time, or are we going to use money to pay, a transaction coordinator or virtual assistant or something? So in the very beginning, I don't know that I would have done anything different. We started our platform, and it was something that I feel like God really put on my heart, where it was, okay, you're going to do this and you're going to literally just spend your entire day going, how can I help? And that's how we started. I mean, I reached out when we came back to Michigan. I didn't know a soul other than our family, realistically. We didn't, and they weren't buying and selling houses at the time. So I reached out to everybody, local business owners, community leaders, and just said, tell me about you. Tell me about what you do. And in the grand scheme of things, how can I, as Coti Brown, and then Ty came into the picture, how can we help? And that's still what we continue to do. And so that $1,000, I would have never spent it on marketing. We still don't. but we do spend it on helping support other community missions, whether it's charities or it's folks in need. But I will tell you, $1,000 is a great asset to give someone. But what we've found a lot of times too is that people, they care more about when you show up for them for time. It is our most valuable tool. It is. Ty serves weekly over at Fish and helps with food distribution, and then we help throughout the year at different community events. But if we had that $1,000, we would find some way in the community to make an impact.
That's awesome. Good for you guys.
Smart, guys. Yeah, that's really nice. So can you guys give any team, husband and wife, advice going into this business? What piece of advice would you give?
It's so loaded.
I would tell you, when we first started together, an operations manager, and at the time I was kind of doing everybody's transactions and various things. And he would always say, stay in your lane. That's for me, for an agent. Basically, if you don't know an answer to a question, or if that's not your expertise, don't be afraid to say that. Say, hey, I don't know this, so I'm gonna get you an answer, but maybe you should have talked the title. Maybe you should talk to your loan officer. So then, taking that to spin it to us, I mean, she handles a lot of things, sales, face-to-face. I'm more of the back office type deal. So we do tend to stay in those lanes, but they are blurred. But I mean, as far as office environment, I mean, stay in your lane. If you have a question, like a legal question, I mean, my gosh, if you don't know the answer, don't answer it, because I mean, you want to get the expert involved in there. So
yeah, especially with one like that.
Yeah. And also there's so many highs and lows, especially in real estate. So I mean, don't get too high, don't get too low. So
yeah, for sure. Right? So what do you guys got planned for like the next rest of the year? Anything exciting happening?
Well, for business wise, we're growing like crazy. The last 2 years because I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we're still very new to real estate. Like I said, we were really blessed to grow so quickly. Our first year, we did a little over 10 million in 50 transactions. Last year, we did around 13 million in 64 transactions. So, in the grand scheme of things, our transaction in volume, we're kind of unique in how quickly we grew, how fast we grew.
Especially for the first year.
Yeah. And so we have enjoyed the heck out of that, but taking our personal business from 13 million to say 17 million or something like that, that's a great growth, but it's not like that's really in the grand scheme of things going to change our life dramatically.
Yeah.
And so our goal this year really was to scale back our own personal business and keep it at the same level or even a little less, quite honestly, and focus on agent attraction and the agents that feel like they're stuck, that feel like they want to grow, that they're wanting a team environment where they can be themselves. One of the worst things in the beginning is I went to seek out seasoned agents that I had told them how excited I was. And I remember somebody telling me, well, you'll never be happy doing business by giving money away or by giving, serving hours. And somebody also telling me you'll never do 10 million in your first year. And one, God knew how I'm motivated because that was the best thing to tell me. But the other thing is I just hate that there are agents like us that are out there that people are telling them what their limits are. And so our game plan the rest of this year is to lead a team that whatever they decide they want to shoot for, that we help support them. There's hands down, there is no better support I feel that I've seen out there that would compare to what Ty and I and our team give. We have such multi-layer support within our organization because we've aligned ourselves with industry leaders. We have the number one social media person. We have the number one team leadership that is our sponsors within EXP where we broker our business. So we're just looking to grow. And then personally, we're just looking to enjoy some time. I mean, we put this pool in and we plan on using the heck out of it this summer.
That's right. I bet. Yeah, perfect timing. If you guys had to suggest a business book to somebody, or anybody starting out, what would you guys, what's your favorite one you guys have read?
I would say for me, and this really isn't a business book, I don't think. I think it's your business book, but I may or may not cuss, guys. So this is you are a badass, and how to stop. What is it? How to stop doubting your greatness and start living an adventurous, whatever, life by. I think it's Jen Cicero. I read it on a plane ride, and it was amazing because it looked like to me like it was very colorful, something I wouldn't typically read that Coti had, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it's more of a self-help book.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, the business of you, and who doesn't doubt themselves sometimes, and just read it, and it's like it was pretty impactful for me.
That's awesome. I like it. How can
the biggest thing on that book that's awesome is that it teaches people. We have this innate fear that if we admit that we like money, that we're bad people, and it just really goes through the psychology of that. I absolutely love that book. I've read it a couple of times. Ty's read a few, I think. So.
I don't think I've read that one yet. I haven't heard of it. I'm gonna have to pick it up and read it. Give it a read.
Yeah, that's awesome. How can people get a hold of you guys?
Go ahead.
Well, we're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. Those are probably the easiest ways to message us. It's just our business front is Impact Agents. You'll find it typically under Coti Brown Realtor on most of those sites is the handle. That's the best way to get a hold of us.
That's it.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for coming on and sharing your story with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you guys
Thanks for having us, guys. Appreciate
Of
it.
course. Are these working?
All right.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. I think they're working. Should we tell them?
Mine keeps falling. It doesn't like my voice.
What do we got to tell them?
Subscribe.
Subscribe. What do we got to point at it? Hey, I think there's a subscription button. Like
It might be there.
might be right there too.
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
Find it. It's red.
Yeah. And it's
Red.
blue. It's green. I don't really know.
It's a color.
This mic isn't even attached. Did you plug these in? Well, I guess.
I wonder if they can hear us.
Yeah. I wonder if they hear us. Well, we should probably tell them if they can hear us. We should probably tell them also give us a 5-star review if they listen to on Apple. That'd be cool.
5 stars,
review.
guys.
Share it with everybody they can think of.
We won't take
But-
4 stars.
I mean, Taylor, I don't even think these are on. I mean,
No, I don't think this is working.
This is not working.